Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. Wednesday, March 11th, 2015. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Well, on the market front, a roller coaster day. The markets are up, the markets were down, the markets are up, and now they're down. Down about 20 points. And gold was up, and now gold is down. And oil was way down, and now it's up. So, where's it going? Financial Times. Super long debt sales hit record. Borrowers lock-in rates pushed down by central bank action and faltering economies. Governments and companies are taking advantage of historic low financing rates so they can keep the Ponzi scheme going, borrow money for nothing, and gamble it, to issue unprecedented amounts of super long dated debt that will not be repaid for a generation. They're making up new stuff all the time. Sales of sovereign and corporate debt that will not mature for more than 30 years have hit a record $69 billion this year, up 12% on the same period in 2014. Yesterday, the UK reopened a 53-year bond debt for repayment in the summer of 2068. One of the longest dated gilts. Strong demand meant the government was able to borrow at a record low rate of 2.62%. The rapid growth in multi-decade debt comes as borrowers seize opportunities to lock into interest rates that have been pushed down even into negative territory. These things are never going to be repaid in our lifetime, but they're borrowing money very cheaply. It's keeping the Ponzi scheme going. That's all this is. So there's not a lot of economic news today, but on the smart side of the economy fence is Toyota sees big demand for fuel cell car. Toyota Motors fuel cell car, which runs on hydrogen and emits just water and heat, has attracted more demand than the automaker had initially expected. But you knew that was going to happen because we've been writing extensively about this in the TrendsJournal. Our chief science editor, Ben Davis, has been on top of this trend and ahead of the news for over a year. This is where the future is going. Not with oil, not with fossil fuels, not with solar, not with wind, geothermal, biofuel. This is the future, plus the other trends in energy that we're going to be writing more about in the upcoming Trends Monthly. That'll be out shortly. We'll let you know when. And over there in Europe, big news in the toilet paper. Big story, international news. In Spain, rapid rise of leftists has a familiar ring. Podemos mirroring Greece's Syriza party. He has promised to structure the debt. He has said it's time to change laws, quote, that allow the rich to keep stealing from us. Wow, that's really left-wing. What's the matter with this commie? Let the rich steal from us. Become an American. Yeah, you can rise to the top. He has vowed that Brussels cannot threaten us and that we don't want any more heads of government who obey and don't negotiate. If that sounds familiar, no, this is not Greece. It is Spain. They write like little stupid kids. Who is this? Ralph Minder. Yeah, Ralph out of his minder. That's how far the cat can look. This is how they play this thing down and degrade it. This is from the Daily Beast. This is a piece of crap from the Beast. Meet the most dangerous man in Italy. Oh, Madonna mia, watch out. Hey, what did he join, ISIS? Or maybe he's selling ISIS. No. It's Matteo Salvini, 42, is a charismatic, albeit unnervingly intense. Keep your commentary to yourself when you're writing this stuff. Could you do that one? No. Political figure whose growing popularity is setting him on a trajectory toward a power showdown with the differently charismatic Renzi. Little Fonzie, the boy over there, doing nothing. All right, here he goes. Salvini cut his political teeth as a youth leader in Italy's Northern League party in Milan, which has long held openly xenophobic, anti-Europe separatist views. How's that? Could you imagine being anti-Europe and xenophobic and separatist views? Yep. He has a strong anti-immigration stance. More than 170,000 irregular migrants and refugees arrived in Italy in 2014 and 2015, a year-to-date increase of 64%. That makes him anti-immigrant. The people from all over these destabilized areas, thanks to NATO, Obama, Clinton, Samantha Powers, Susan Rice, Cameron, Blair, all of the destruction, the people are flowing out of North Africa, out of Egypt, out of Tunisia, and into sunny Italy. She goes on to say that he is dangerous. This makes a person dangerous because he has a tough anti-immigration stance. He wants to break free from Brussels, and he's making connections with the Southern Italians, which the Northern League never did before, because he's made it clear that the poorest have suffered under Italy's austerity measures. I want to make this clear. I'm not supporting any of these governments. I don't know what the details of their anti-immigration plans are. Is it anti-Muslim or anti-immigration? If it's anti-Muslim, I'm not for it. But if it's anti-immigration, I'm for it. I don't want another immigrant coming into America for any reason other than political torture. We have 316 million people here and can't take care of them. The roads are rotted, the job stinks, and all they do is keep bringing in cheap labor. So, you can see where the future is heading in Europe. It's huge news, but they downplay it in the United States, and they make these people seem like fringe players when the fringe players are the people are in charge, are fringe, because they're fringe psychopaths, sociopaths, and megalomaniacs, and that far away from going into an insane asylum. But because they're in charge, they don't go there. So they make fun of what's going on. Hey, to wit, in the front page of the toilet paper, Islamic State finds new frontier in chaotic Libya. Oh, chaotic Libya. How did it become chaotic? I'll tell you how it became chaotic. You had crazy people destroy the joint that was the richest country in Africa. And we don't have to go over it again. You know the names. Sarkozy, Samantha Powers, Susan Rice, Hillary Clinton, Obama, Cameron. And then they write a stupid story like this. The whole place is chaos. And no one looks at the causes. Hey, over there in Egypt, just because Egypt, wave of attack kills 3. Unidentified militants killed 3 police officers. Hey, how many people have those police officers killed over the last couple of years? But they're not militants. They is cops. And cops gone wild could go wild in any country. But that's the way they write it. The place is in chaos, a military takeover, and what do they want? More dough. Egyptian president pushes U.S. for more military aid. What, to kill militants? No, 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 little boys and girls. We'll play the strong line that really gets people just like that because it's so cheap and so stupid anybody will buy it. To fight ISIS. Oh, yeah, that's right, ISIS. And who's the head of the guy? What's his name over there? Sisi. Hey, wait a minute. Breaking news. Breaking news. Is Sisi really ISIS? Because after all, that's who he is spelled backwards. And all this is backwards anyway. They want the dough that we're giving them, the United States, $1.5 billion in military aid to keep the military coup in place. Fight ISIS. And we got to watch out. We got military threats all around us. Watch out. We got a new threat right south of the border, not too far away. Obama brands Venezuela a threat to national security. That's right. They can't sign that document, man. Woo! A threat to national security. Yeah, them Venezuelans, they invaded Iraq. They invaded Afghanistan. They invaded Libya. Yeah. And now the United States next. And the people buy it. The hypocrisy of this. They're a national threat to our national, he calls it a national emergency and a threat to national security. Yep. You believe this? Of course you can. It's the USSA. Because in the USSA, front page Wall Street Journal, CIA-aided program to spy on U.S. phones. The Central Intelligence Agency, of which intelligence is not central, played a crucial role in helping the Justice Department, of which there is no justice, hey, only us, just us, develop technology that scans data from thousands of U.S. cell phones. And it goes on. And there's no protest. Those left-wingers over there in Spain and Italy, my God, they don't let their governments rape them of their rights like we do over here. And she's at it again. Bum-ba-da-ba. Washington. Russian tanks and heavy military equipment have crossed the Ukrainian border in the last few days in a breach of European brokered ceasefire agreements. A senior U.S. Department official said on Tuesday. That was yesterday. The comments by U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for Europe, Victoria Nuland, asserts that Russia continues to send troops and weapons to support separatists in eastern Ukraine despite the Minsk ceasefire agreement. And she said, eastern Ukraine and Crimea, the Black Sea Peninsula annexed by Russia a year ago, was suffering, you ready for this? For some unique language? A reign of terror. How's that for something really, really different? And, by the way, they're calling for more military aid. Lethal weapons. Brzezinski. Madeleine Albright, Ashton Carter, and Victoria Nuland, one after another. More violence, more bloodshed. Not a peep about peace. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's Trends in the News.